Right, quick review. Everything's held up pretty well. Self-steering bungee holding the course. I just passed by this buoy, I didn't have to adjust it. I reduced the size of the tiller extension because I've got two ratchets holding the tension on the outboard, just because it's got some weight to it. Flying just the jib alone, it's pretty windy today. I'm behind some land, but yeah, the hatches are good, deck is good, rigging is good. Downwind for the first time with the jib. That's the lighthouse keeper. So with just the jib, the boat doesn't want to tack. I did a jibe, but it holds a real straight, balanced weight on the rudder with just the jib up, no mainsail.
2 knots west on the catamaran with Zach, because he was putting up the mainsail and he said, "Hey, would you like to take a ride?" And of course I said yes, because why wouldn't I? And there is a lovely breeze out here. We could race him in Happy Cat, but I'd be too tired putting it together. No, it is the gentlest of breezes, but it moves the boat perfectly fine. It's really neat.
Both sails up. It's pretty shallow, but we're not hitting bottom, so little motor through the muck. Finally moving proper. Both sails up. Wind's about 12 to 14 miles per hour. We're moving now. Finally making some whitewater wakes in the back. Right. The balance is so much better with the jib and the main up at the same time. It really does work a lot better. I can already tell. One thing I needed to address was the fact that the jib would get caught on the gooseneck part ahead of the mast. Right here you can see it just barely snags. So what I did was added a string connecting the two protrusions that go past the front of the mast to prevent that from happening again. Right in the middle of the waterway. First time in some lumpy conditions. As you can hear, as the boat rocks back and forth, the centerboard makes a clunking noise. That's because the centerboard is a little bit too small for the casing, but it's only when the seas are rough. If the seas are calm and not choppy, the board doesn't make any noise at all. going out for one last sail. I plan on using both sails, the main and jib, and tacking back upwind. I did it with the motor on, I can do it with the motor off. Review of how it's held up. The hatches are really in great condition. I've been walking all over them in rain and sun. The deck, some of the paint peeled off the deck, but that's mahogany. So the one change I would make in the back of the boat is the motor mount. That piece needs to extend longer because the main sheet will catch on that corner. And also those supports that I had, the straps to take some weight off, were also too far to the center of the boat. They needed to be a little further out. So that's the one thing I would change in the back. The tiller extension has been great. The little bits of rope I have holding everything together work great. Now with the existing motor mount, I can't fold this up, it's too high. The motor mount's too high. The mast step and crossbeams are in excellent condition. I added some spacers to the gooseneck. I needed a little bit more room there. And the pitchfork part of the gaff, I added some padding. And the PVC gaff works great. I think the coolest beach find is this netting. I found it on the beach and cleaned it up. I used initially zip ties, but the two back ones broke. They were big zip ties and they broke still. I've got 3 zip ties in the front, but the netting is great. I'd like to add some reinforcements to the sides, but it's good to go for now. It does work. The mast is good and the rigging is good. These have been stretching slowly, but I keep on retying the bowline knot. using the same 2 metal pipes that I did in my previous rebuild and launch video, I'm able to condense the beam of the boat to load it onto the trailer.